We've worked with frosted cake, but sometimes it might be better to know how much cake was not frosted. Let's look at a simple case of this. If 2/3 of a cake is frosted with vanilla icing, what fraction is not frosted? Well, let's start off by looking at a cake. Here's a whole chocolate cake, and I'm going to ice 2/3 of it. So I've split my cake up into thirds, and I iced 2 of those thirds. Here's 1/3 and 2/3. One way to think about this is that the parts must add up to the whole. I know that I have 2/3 of the cake frosted in vanilla icing, and I have to add some amount to get a whole cake. So I know 2/3 plus some amount has to equal 1. Well, this last piece is just 1/3, so I can just put 1/3 here. This is the amount that's not frosted. And remember back from adding fractions, we know we just need to count up the thirds. I have 1/3, 2/3, and 3/3 altogether. So this piece that's not frosted is 1/3. There's actually another way that we can think about this. Let's instead start with a whole cake and subtract off the parts that we don't want. We don't want the vanilla icing. So let's subtract the pieces we don't want from the entire whole cake. I started with one whole cake, and I'm subtracting off 2/3. Well, I know one whole cake is the same thing as 3/3. Remember, I can just write 1 as 1 divided by 1, because that's still 1. And then I can multiply this fraction by 3/3. I'm just going to turn 1 into thirds, or 3/3. So I have 3/3 minus 2/3, which is 1/3. 1/3 of my cake is not frosted. And what's interesting about fractions is that it doesn't matter how much cake we're talking about. We could have started with a different cake. Maybe we started with a rectangular cake. Here's a rectangular cake, and I'm going to ice 2/3 of it. Doing the same problem with a rectangular cake doesn't change my answer. I still have 2/3 of it frosted in vanilla icing and 1/3 that's left unfrosted. The amount of cake that's frosted or unfrosted depends on the size and shape of the original cake. The neat thing about fractions is that 2/3 could describe this part of a round cake or this part of a rectangular cake. Fractions describe a part of a whole object.